Restaurants tell us that 40% of what you spend on beer already goes to taxes. Now the state wants to raise those taxes even higher. Cameron, it was obviously a very strong storm. You can see this huge tree lying behind me, and then you can see the root system right here, which is actually towering over me. 3 other accidents in that same spot over the past year. Cameron, it's really a double whammy for some local businesses. First, the slow economy, now rising gas prices. Craig, the sheriff says a 27-year-old drowned yesterday. People we spoke to who are out on the lake today say it's a reminder for them to be extra cautious. Cameron and Wanda, we've all seen them while driving down the road. We even saw a few today while we were driving around, and they seem simple and fairly innocent with just stick figures and some names. But police say that little bit of information is all that a predator needs.
We'd, seen them before on other people's cars and thought they were cute.
Ashley Bradford drives around with this sticker on the back of her car. The 3 figures represent her 2 girls and her dog. It was a gift from her mother.
When she'd gone to Disney, she saw the ones with the Mickey ears, so she thought, oh great, let's get those. So, because my girls are into Disney, so just a cute way to personalize the car.
Others take it one step further, personalizing them to have the figures and names of mom, dad, the kids, or even pets. Police have some advice for parents putting those stickers on their cars.
I would never underestimate what a predator or someone may use or try to use if they see a car with children's names on it and the kids in the car. They could even follow the parents from store to store until the opportunity presented itself, maybe.
Police say the sticker could provide predators with all the information they need to prey on your family.
Any kind of information they could use to be more familiar with the child. If kids get more comfortable, then they may drop their guard a little bit, and it only takes a second.
I was shocked. I don't think if my mother had given me those with their names already on them, I would have put them on there. I wouldn't have thought anything of it.
Bradford says the sticker she once thought was so cute, she is now considering taking off.
Yeah, mine are young, so if someone come up to them and say, hey, anything about their sister or their dog and not necessarily tell them by name, they wouldn't think anything of that. My 5-year-old's not going to say, well, what is my sister's name?
She also plans to let family and friends know about this simple sticker and the dangers it could present.
You don't think about things like that until someone brings it to your attention, so.
And police aren't saying whether you should or shouldn't have these, but they say you should have that conversation with your kids about strangers. And we also spoke to a company today that makes these stickers, and they defended the ones that don't have the name, saying that someone could look into your car and see the number of kids or pets that you have. As far as the ones that do have names under them, they say they do recommend people get the ones without names, but they say those personalized ones are still very popular. Live in High Point, Preeti Arla, WXII 12 News. Kim, we hear about these stories all the time and sometimes wonder how people can fall for them, but the victim in this case says the one that she fell for looked incredibly legitimate. The convenience of online banking is a big draw for Maria Fletcher. She frequently checks her accounts to make sure there's no unusual activity.
I try to keep up with things and make sure things are right.
One day while she was doing her daily check, she unknowingly fell for an online scam. Here's what Fletcher says happened. She went to the Newbridge Bank website like she normally does, and she went to bank online. When she does that, a second page pops up like this one, which is normal. But she says in addition to that, a third page popped up asking for account numbers, social security number, and her mother's maiden name. She put all of that information in, but her advice is that you shouldn't.
Kind of felt like, well, maybe I just need to ask the bank when I go in. And so the next day I went in and I asked about it, and they checked into it for me and found out that there had been some fraud there. I had to go take care of closing my accounts there. I had to call the credit bureaus.
We tried calling Newbridge Bank. They sent us a statement saying, quote, "We take issues of identity fraud very seriously. We are aware of attempts of unscrupulous individuals and groups to obtain customer account information. They warn customers not to click or respond to emails or pop-ups that are suspicious."
It wasn't just a pop-up. It's just like it belonged there.
Fletcher says the web page looked legitimate. She says after she entered in all of her information on the fake web page, she was even redirected to her online bank account. She warns others to be extra cautious online.
To just be careful of what you're doing on the computer. because it could happen to anybody.
Fletcher caught the problem early enough, and the thieves didn't get away with her money. They did get away with her peace of mind.
Paid a lot of bills online, which that will stop. I'll go back to the old way of writing checks and mailing them off, because I just don't trust the computer anymore.
We tried calling Newbridge Bank multiple times over the last week and a half. We did get that statement, but they didn't give us a specific response to her situation. But if you do have any concerns, call your bank immediately. Fletcher did, and she believes that prevented her account from being wiped out. Live in Walkertown, Preeti Arla, WXII 12 News. Cameron and Wanda, there was truly an outpouring of love and support in this community as Captain Mark Garner's body made its way home. You can still see up and down the street all the yellow ribbons showing just how supportive they are. And today, for the first time, we heard from his wife, Nikayla, who spoke about the man that she loved. Here she is in her own words.
I went to an after Christmas sale at Haynes Mall. We literally bumped into each other, and I looked up and to say excuse me, I saw those big sparkling blue eyes and him smiling at me, and there was this beautiful blonde woman with this baby with Mark's big beautiful blue eyes, and I thought, shoot, he's taken. And I thought, I'm going to find out who this child is. And so I leaned over and said in my cutest little southern manner, "And who is this?" Mark goes, "Oh, Nikayla, do you not remember my sister, Rachel? This is her daughter, Liz." I immediately perked back up, and we went out a couple days later, and the rest is history. Trying to get through the most difficult thing I've ever experienced in my entire life, and just trying to cope and survive. I'm proud of my husband and what he did, and I'm proud of who he was, and trying to remember, just trying to remember him as he was a great man. He loved his job. He loved more than anything working with the soldiers, and the mission, of course, the excitement of training and all the activities involved, but he just really more than anything enjoyed working with other cultures. As much as I'm hurting right now and as much pain as I'm feeling, it's the love I feel, not only from the community, but I feel the love for Mark. And that's what's helping me through. Is
Garner was from here in Elkin. He graduated from Elkin High School in 1997 and then went on to West Point. He was just 30 years old. Cameron and Wanda, back to you. Ben, the organization says there is a critical need for male volunteers. There are hundreds of kids without mentors, and we spoke to a little boy and his big brother today, and they are the perfect example of why this relationship can benefit both people. 11-year-old Jeray and his big brother Jeffrey spent the day cheering each other on, whether they got strikes or gutter balls.
Come on, come on, come on.
It's just one example of how they are there for each other through the good times and the bad.
He picks on me for not having a girlfriend, but I got one now, so he picks on me for having a girlfriend. You know, the bond has been pretty good.
Yeah, sometimes I get advice with him. Sometimes I give him advices.
Jeffrey joined the Big Brothers Big Sisters program over a year ago. He wanted to give back and be a father figure to a little kid. It's a role model he never had when he was young.
But it's just the simple fact of not having that father to come home and talk situations over with. You know, what I might get into where I can say, Dad, you know, is this right? Or is this not right?
Now he spares a little time each week to spend with Jeray. He hopes to provide guidance and support.
I give him the opportunity to call me anytime he wants to. So we have an open phone policy.
The Big Brothers Big Sisters agencies across the Triad say they need more brothers like Jeffrey. They say there are over 300 boys waiting to be matched with a big brother.
Knock this down.
Most of our kids come from single-parent homes or live with extended family. Just kids who might be alone, they could tend to get into some trouble or fall through the cracks.
Jeffrey and Jeray hope others will get involved and form the same bond they have over the last year.
It's kind of fun having a big brother because they always have fun with you and do right things and give you advices, good advices.
The experience that it does to a person is overwhelming. You know, to have a little brother that you know he's there for you.